Howdy y'all, welcome back to Guns and Barbecue. So today is December 22nd, 2022. It is the last month of 2022, obviously it's December 22nd. That also means it is the last iteration for 22's for 22 in the year 2022. If you've been following this at all for the last couple months, this is a suicide awareness slash suicide prevention campaign that I came up with to try and combat suicide by veterans, as well as just suicide in general. And it would seem, this time of year is all that much more especially important. Now, with this campaign, I encourage everybody to, one, you're going to talk about suicide and suicide prevention, and down in the description below I have a bunch of different links that people can go and try and seek out help, and as well, you grab a 22 out of your collection and you showcase that at the beginning or the end of your video, or you can take a photo of it, make a social media post, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, if that's a thing. I don't know. Twitch. There's so many different things out there today. I can't even name them all, and I don't even know what most of them are for anyways. But as I was saying, like I said, I got plenty of links down in the description below. Ones that I always like to highlight would be One Tribe, which used to be 22 Kill. There's the 988 number, which used to be a giant 800 number. But now, they decided to condense that into a quick little 3-digit number for people to call if they are finding themselves in crisis. And some other great organizations would be Walk the Talk America, as well as one I always like to mention is Canines for Warriors. Now, that is not an organization that deals specifically with veteran suicide. However, having a companion animal such as a canine, that Canines for Warriors would provide a veteran suffering with PTSD or anything like that, is a pretty amazing thing as far as helping somebody that's suffering again with suicidal thoughts or anything like that. So that, like I said, that just scratches the surface on all the great links down in the description below. As always, giant thank you to Brooke Cheney and Ghost Tactical for their help in compiling that list. Now, like I said, this is primarily directed at veterans. I always wanted to figure out how to do my part to help vets out, having never been able to serve in the military. I always wanted to try and give back somehow, and I thought of this campaign. I was like, maybe that could be how I can give back, help raise awareness, and hopefully combat suicide. And one that hopefully that helps out the men and women who selflessly served our country, but at the same time it helps out the fight for 2A, and that is a really big deal as well, and that's why I say this isn't just a campaign aimed at veteran suicide, but at the end of the day, suicide in general, because 2 out of 3 firearms deaths are suicide, and that is an absolutely terrible thing. To think that, one, people get that down, that lonely, that depressed, so many other descriptive words that we could come up with right now, but to think that people end up hitting such a low point in their life that they decide the best thing to do is to end it. And I want people to remember that you are loved, you're cared for, and I realize how broken recordish that sounds. I say it every video, and likewise, if you turn into Suicide Prevention Saturday with Brooke Cheney, which will take place this Saturday, Christmas Eve, 9 p.m. over on her channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below. You'll hear her say something similar. You go tune into Ghost Tactical's chat every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. You're going to hear him say something similar, but it's the truth. I realize that if you are somebody who is struggling, who thinks that the only way out or the best option for you is just to end it, please listen to my next words and realize that there truly are people that love and care about you, and you're not going to know it ever if you go and do something like that. You may not know it ever anyways, because some people just aren't good at expressing that. But I guarantee you that if you were to take your own life, there are going to be a lot of people that aren't just hurt, but they're going to be deeply disturbed, and they're going to be left with a lot of questions, and some of those questions are going to be, why? What could I have done? How couldn't I have seen this? Why didn't they talk to me? Recently, actually back in October when I started this campaign, on the 22nd, I did a premiere, and I talked about my own struggle and, gave my whole story there. And a guy that I consider a very close friend now, he called me up, and at first he's just, dude, what the fuck? And I was like, what? And he's like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? And he became very emotional, and he wasn't mad or anything, but he was just hurt that I never confided in him. And now part of that reason was him and I, we weren't friends like that yet. We were still in our infancy of our friendship at that point. So definitely wasn't going to be confiding in him then, even if I would have known that I could. But that brings me to my next point is, you probably have a lot of people that you can talk to, friends or family, and they're going to have an open ear. It's very rare that you're not going to have that open ear anywhere. The toughest part about it is simply admitting that, hey, I need to talk to somebody, and swallowing your, I don't want to say pride, because at least in my case, I don't really think it was pride. It's just being blind. I already feel as if I'm a burden on most people in my life. The last thing I wanted to do was be like, hey, sometimes I decide to find a bed sheet or an extension cord or something and try and tie it together and make myself into a swing set. Like I said, I already felt like a giant burden. So why would I want to burden them with anything like that? So yeah. But realize, because it's not something I realized, I never once did I think, oh, somebody's going to have an open ear, somebody's going to want to hear this, somebody's, going to care enough. Realize, pretty much everybody has I don't want to say everybody does, because I'm sure that there is somebody out there who's just 100% loner, things like that. And again, that's why we've got those links down in the description. If you believe you're 100% loner, you don't have a friend or family member in the world, you know what? Like I said, there's still people that care, and you don't realize it. But like I said, that's why we got those links down below. But if you don't want to try those links down below and you have somebody to talk to, confide in that person. You won't believe how just letting it out, how much weight is taken off your shoulders. and you can start the process of getting help and hopefully healing. So, yeah. But with that being said, again, don't be afraid to reach out to those organizations that are listed down below. There's a lot of them there, and all the ones there are going to be pretty darn two-way friendly. There is a very common misconception within the firearms community that if you end up on some sort of medication for depression or bipolar, who knows what, if you're on some kind of drug because you're having some mental instabilities, people believe that you're going to lose your firearms. Likewise, people think that if you go and commit yourself for a 72-hour stay, that you're going to lose your firearms, which isn't the case, at least not in most states. Now, if you get involuntarily committed, that's a different story. But if you go and just say, hey, I need help, you're not going to lose your firearms rights. Like I said, and that's most states. I don't want to speak in generalizations like that and be wrong about some state that had some law that I wasn't 100% on. But 99 out of 100, I think you're going to be fine. With that being said, at the end of the day, just don't be afraid to ask for help, seek help. If you're a person who is struggling and you're watching this, that means that, you're still fighting that battle. And if you're still fighting that battle, realize it's not something that you have to do alone, because it's a very tough battle to fight alone. And reaching out, getting that help is going to make you much more successful in fighting that battle. So, with that being said, today I'd like to showcase my Rock Island Armory XT-22. This is a 22 Magnum 1911. So, drop the mag. Mag is empty. We'll reinsert that. For some reason, this one does not do it a last round hold open. You need to get a hold of Rock Island about that. I'm going to do a physical check of the chamber, and that feels empty. Hold it really close to my face, and I do not see any yellow brass in the chamber either, so I'm going to say this is empty, perfectly safe to handle. So, it's actually a really neat little gun, 22 Magnum. Really like shooting it. Having a couple problems with it. Like I said, I need to call Rock Island Armory about this little bugger. But with that being said, the issues that I'm having are having to double strike majority of the rounds that I'm firing through it. Every once in a while, I might get about 3/4 of a mag ran without issue, but seems like I'll get 1 or 2 shots fired, and then every round after that's going to have to be double strike. So, like I said, definitely some quirks with this, but nothing that I can't, or nothing that I don't reckon could be sorted out here. So, and honestly, if you look at this, really neat design with the way they did this. I think they did it to lighten the slide weight, just to help with reliability as far as cycling the firearm goes. Now, there is a thought that maybe it doesn't go and return back quite as firm as some people would like because of how light the slide is. Now, with that lighter slide, they're able to do a lighter recoil spring. So, I mean, this is a dream to rack and whatnot. So, this is something that I like to take to the range for my kids. They really enjoy shooting it. They have a lot of fun with it. Just a really fun gun overall. Red fiber optic sight on the front, which is useless to me because I can't see it. Just a plain black GI style sight in the rear. So, like I said, really fun little 22. It would be a ton more fun if it would run 100% the way I would like it. But this has been 22's for 22. Thank you for watching. Again, if you're somebody that needs help, or if you know somebody that is in need of help, take a look at those links down in the description below, and don't be afraid to reach out, find somebody that can give you the help that you need. It's not worth, whatever you're going through is not worth taking your life. Please know that. If you like this video and you want to stay tuned into this series and hopefully find more as more people produce videos for this, hopefully, and different social media posts, things like that, please hit those like, comment, share, and subscribe buttons. Please definitely share it. That's the whole idea, is to get the word out about this. I'm not doing it to get subs or anything like that. I'm doing it to, again, help combat and prevent suicide. So without this getting shared and put out there in front of people, if you happen to stumble onto this because you're interested in the Rock Island XT-22, cool. If you happen to stumble onto it because, maybe you were looking up Walk Talk America or something else like that, who knows what, cool. But let's help spread that word, make people aware of the options that they have. Like I said, it's not about getting subs for anybody. It's about saving lives, helping two-way. Again, 2/3 of deaths involving a firearm are suicide. It's about helping the men and women who go and fight selflessly for our country and get back and feel as if they've had a blind eye turned towards them, no pun intended. So, again, thank you for watching. Get help if you need it. You're going to be glad that you did one day. Right now, you might think that it's not worth it, but one day, you're going to look back and be like, man, I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I got that help. So, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later.